Welcome to Calcutta Races Monsoon Meeting, 13th day, Wednesday, 18 September 2019 race preview. We move on to the first race, which is the Not Much Handicap for horses in Class 5 to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. Number 1 will be Lakshay. Lakshay's last outing was in race number 76 over 1400 meters, where Lakshay finished on 6th after much efforts, and the winner of that race was Fancoat, who came up with a late dash on the stand side and went on to win it by a head. Number 2 will be PORAS. PORAS is at one start this monsoon meeting in race number 19 over 1200 meters, where PORAS finished almost detached, finished 7th, and the winner of that race was Aftershock, who won it by a nose. Number 3, we're looking at Gramercy Park. Win legend out of Manhattan Rain is Gramercy Park, has had two eye-catching runs. First one finished 4th over 1400 meters in race number 21, and last start in race number 42 over 1400 meters made it a pillar-to-post run, but fell short by a nose. Was overtaken on the outside by Beat the Bank, who won that race, and Gramercy Park settled for second spot and lost it by a nose. Number 4 will be Winner's Delight. Winner's Delight's just had one start this monsoon meeting in race number 15 over 1100 meters, where Winner's Delight travelled 7th all the way and travelled very wide of the track in the final stage of the race, and the winner of that race is Shimmering Star. Number 5, we're looking at Shivai. Shivai has had two outings this monsoon meeting, finished off the board in both its outings, last one being in race number 70, where Shivai finished on 8th, and the winner of that race was Hurricane Storm. Number 6 will be Artiste Royale. Artiste Royale's last outing was over 1100 meters in race number 40, where Artiste Royale finished on 4th after much efforts, was travelling 9th till it turned for home and gradually gained places, but couldn't match strides with the winner and finished on 4th was Artiste Royale, and the winner of that race was Dilmange Mo, who won that race by 2 3/4 lengths. Number 7, we're looking at Federosa. One start this monsoon meeting in race number 35 over 1200 meters. Practically no show there by Federosa. Finished on right at the back end to finish on 9th, and the winner of that race was Glorious Leaps. Number 8 will be Havana Grey. Havana Grey's last outing was over a mile in race number 13, where Havana Grey travelled 4th till it turned for home, and then gradually fell back and finished on 7th was Havana Grey, and the winner of that race was Constance. Number 9, we're looking at Looking Good. Looking Good's last outing was in race number 62. That was its only outing over 1400 meters, where Looking Good travelled 3rd till it turned for home and then gradually dropped back rapidly, I would say, and finished on 10th right at the back end to finish on 10th out of 10 runners, and the winner of that race was Fabiola. We move on to the second race, which will be the Bold Display Handicap to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. We're looking at number 1, Reincarnation. Last outing was over 1100 meters in race number 63, where Reincarnation travelled 3rd till it turned for home and then gradually fell back and finished on 5th after much efforts. And the winner of that race is Dancing Prince, who won that by 2.5 lengths. Number 2 will be Dixie Diamond. Dixie Diamond's had 2 outings this monsoon meeting, finished on board to finish on 3rd in its first outing. A last outing over 1800 meters, finished on 6th in race number 67. And the winner of that race was Bojangles, who won that by a short neck. Number 3, we're looking at Vice Admiral. Vice Admiral's had 2 outings this monsoon meeting, finished right at the back end in both its outings. Last one being over 1400 meters in race number 57. You could see Vice Admiral right at the back end, finished on 10th, and the winner of that race was Jayavanth. Number 4, we are looking at Fantasia. Fantasia's last outing was in race number 77 over 1400 meters, where Fantasia finished on 2nd behind Aftershock, who won that race by a length and a half. Got an eye-catching run by Fantasia. Number 5, we're looking at Shohin. Shohin's had 2 outings this monsoon meeting, last one being over 1200 meters in race number 49, where Shohin finished on 5th after much efforts, and the winner of that race was Aquitania, who went on to win it by 2 3/4 lengths. Number 6, we're looking at Big Star. Big Star's last outing was over 1200 meters this monsoon meeting in race number 74, where Big Star travelled very wide in the final stage of the race and finished on 6th. And the winner of that race was Novikov, who was too good that day, won it by a length and 3/4. Number 7 will be Panchovilla. Panchovilla's had 2 outings this monsoon meeting, finished off the board in both its outings, last outing being over 1800 meters in race number 39, where Panchovilla finished on 5th, and the winner of that race was 7 Step, who won that race by 3 1/4 lengths. Won it impressively was 7 Step. Number 8 will be Adirit. Arizona de Miami's Adirit just had 1 start this season in race number 56 over 1200 meters, and quite an eye-catcher that was by Adirit. Finished on 2nd, travelled all the way 2nd in fact, and finished 4 1/4 lengths behind the winner. That was Shimmering Star, and that's what you need to watch out for today is Adirit. We move on to the 3rd race, which is the Grey Wings Plate for maiden horses 3 years old only, rated 21 to 46 to be run over a distance of 1200 meters. Number 1 will be Manzoni. Manzoni's last outing was in the Bangalore season in race number 139 over 1600 meters, where Manzoni finished on 7th, and the winner of that race was Speaking of Stars. Number 2 will be Botswana Star. Botswana Star's last outing was over a mile in this monsoon meeting in race number 55, where Botswana Star finished on 7th after much efforts, and the winner of that race was Inca, who came up with a strong run down on the centre and went on to win it by a length and 3/4. Number 3 will be Miami. Winning legend out of Florida. That 3 starts this monsoon meeting. Last start was not impressive, over 1100 meters in race number 50, where after much efforts, Miami finished on 7th, and the winner of that race was Adira, who won it by a length and 3/4. Number 4 will be Rush for Gold. Rush for Gold's last outing was in the Calcutta winter season in race number 206 over 1100 meters, where Rush for Gold travelled 5th till it turned for home and then gradually faded back and finished right at the back end to finish 11th out of 14 runners, and the winner of that race was Astoria, who won it hands down by 2 1/2 lengths. Number 5 will be Popcorn. Popcorn's last start was quite impressive in race number 64 over 1200 meters, where Popcorn travelled fourth till it turned for home and then gradually gained one place and finished on third. Towards the stand side was Popcorn, and also in the same race we had number 7 Luna Lucinda, who finished one behind to finish on fourth, and the winner of that race was Hukumat. Number 6 will be Davina Donatella. Davina Donatella's last outing was in race number 56 over 1200 meters, where Davina Donatella finished on fourth, and the winner of that race is Shimmering Star. We move on to the fourth race, which is the Rockefellar Handicap, to be run over a distance of 1200 meters. We're looking at number 1, Novikov, holding court at a dancer's fan. Last outing was impressive in race number 74, this monsoon meeting over 1200 meters, when Novikov came up with a very strong run down in the center and went on to win that race by a length and 3/4 by beating Cup in Nocturne. Also in the same race, we had number 5, Bergamot, quite an eye-catching fourth that was by Bergamot. Number 2 will be Coup de Gras. Coup de Gras' last outing was in the winter season in race number 202 over a mile, where Coup de Gras finished on 8th after much efforts, and the winner of that race was Bothus, who came up with a late dash and won that race by 3/4 of a length. Number 3 will be Pugnacious. Pugnacious' last outing was in the monsoon meeting in race number 67 over 1800 meters, where Pugnacious finished on 9th, and the winner of that race was Bojangles, who won it by a short neck. Number 4 will be Aquitania. Aquitania's last outing was very impressive in race number 49, this monsoon meeting over 1200 meters, where Aquitania travelled second till it turned for home and then gradually came down in the centre and took over the running and went on to win it by 2 3/4 lengths by beating Summerhill. Also in the same race, we had number 10 Ruby Cube, who finished right at the back end to finish on 10th. Number 6 will be Airlift. Airlift's last outing was this monsoon meeting in race number 77 over 1400 meters, where Airlift finished on 6th, and the winner of that race was Aftershock, who won it by a length and a half. Number 7 will be Mr. Fox. Mr. Fox's last outing was this season in race number 63 over 1100 meters, where Mr. Fox finished on 7th. And also in the same race, we had number 8 Millennium Glory, that was on the stand side, finished on 4th, and the winner of that race was Dancing Prince. Number 9 will be Tough Enough. Tough Enough's last outing was quite an eye-catcher in race number 57 over 1400 meters, where Tough Enough travelled 8th right at the back end till it turned firm and then gradually gained places towards the stand side and finished an eye-catching 4th was Tough Enough, and the winner of that race was Jaywant. We move on to the 5th race, which would be the Alternator Cup. For horses 4 years old and over, to be run over a distance of 1800 meters. Number 1, we're looking at Who Makes the Rules. Last outing was in the Pune season in race number 25 over 2000 meters, where Who Makes the Rules finished on 6th, but ran in Calcutta in the Calcutta winter season in race number 113 over 2000 meters, where Who Makes the Rules came up with a rattle and went on to win it by a short head by beating Kangra. Number 2 will be Breeze of the South. Breeze of the South's last outing was this monsoon meeting in race number 73 over 1200 meters, where Breeze of the South finished on 5th, and the winner of that race was Eastern Star, who won that race by 3/4 of a length. Number 3 will be CADMAN. Just one start this monsoon meeting in race number 24 over 1400 meters, where CADMAN finished right at the back end to finish on 8th. Also in the same race, we had number 4, Shivalik Shahs, who finished 2 ahead to finish on 6th. And the winner of that race was Multitude, the big-hearted Multitude, who won it again by a length and a quarter. Number 6, we're looking at Lord of the Sea. One start this monsoon meeting in race number 59 over 1400 meters, where Lord of the Sea finished on 6th after much efforts, travelled very wide in the final stage of the race. Also in the same race, we had number 7, MULTIGLORY, who finished on 1 ahead to finish on 5th, and the winner of that race was Hartnell, who won it by a long neck. We move on to the 6th race, which is the ADRIANA Handicap, to be run over a distance of 1800 meters. Number 1 will be Midnight Phantom. Midnight Phantom's last outing was in race number 58 this season over 1800 meters, where Midnight Phantom finished on 5th, and the winner of that race was Cold Frontier. Also in the same race, we had number 4, Smith & Wesson, who finished an eye-catching 2nd, just a length behind the winner. Number 2 will be Rule Down Under. Rule Down Under's last outing was in race number 69, this monsoon meeting over 1600 meters, where Rule Down Under travelled 3rd till it turned for home and then gradually fell back 1 place and finished on 4th. Also in the same race, we had number 3, Rufus, who finished 1 behind to finish on 5th, and number 5, Sniper, who finished on both to finish on 3rd. But the eventual winner of that race was Arjuna, who won it well by a length and a quarter. We move on to the 7th and last race, which will be the Whiplash Handicap, to be run over a distance of 1800 meters. We're looking at number 1, SHARQI. SHARQI's last outing was over 1800 meters in race number 67, where SHARQI, after much efforts, finished on 8th, and the winner of that race was Bojangles, who got that by a short neck. Number 2 will be Duchamp. Duchamp's last outing was in race number 68 over a mile, where Duchamp finished on a faraway 6th. And also in the same race, we had number 5, Yuvan, who was the eventual winner, who won that race by start to finish and won it by 2 lengths. Also in the same race, we had number 7, that is Rustler, who finished 2 behind. In fact, finished on 2nd was Rustler, 2 lengths behind the winner, that was Yuvan. Number 3 will be Expensive Affair. Expensive Affair has been knocking on the doors, had 3 starts, finished 5th in its first start, 4th in its second start, and 3rd in its last start over 2000 meters in race number 61. Also in the same race, we had number 4, Vishank, who finished 1 ahead to finish on 2nd in that race, and number 8, Cool Conqueror, who finished on 4th. But the winner of that race was Descartes, who was too good that day, won it by 2 lengths. Number 6 will be Aveberry. Aveberry's last outing was in race number 55 over a mile, where Aveberry, who led the field all the way. It fell unlucky. Aveberry just got beat by Inca, who came up with a strong run down in the center and went on to win it by beating Aveberry by a length and a 3/4. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time, and hope to see you at the races tomorrow afternoon.